This is part 13 of my journey through the Connecticut court system. At the end of part 12, I was talking about how I filed an emergency ex parte custody motion on March 17th, 2022. I read the first part of what I was asking for in the motion, and here's the second part. Matthew told me via email that I could come get my child anytime that I wanted from his mother's address in Waterbury, where he keeps claiming to live. I drove there on March 25th, 2022, after him refusing to answer any of my emails or calls or allow me to access my child. I'm the primary residence for the child as well as the custodial parent. I demanded that he bring her back home, and he stated I would have to go to his home to get her. When I arrived, nobody was home. I contacted the Waterbury Police Department to conduct a wellness check on my daughter. The police stated that upon arrival, the only person who was at that address was Roy Bowers, the stepdad of Matthew Lodice. Roy stated that Matthew moved to Newington in December 2021 and told the officer that he had no way of getting in touch with him or the minor child, and that he did not know where he lives now or have any communication with him. The case number for the Waterbury Police for the incident is 22-25336. The Waterbury Police then instructed me to contact the Orange Police Department, stating that my child's primary residence is in Orange and that they would have to help try to locate her. After many emails to Matthew asking him where my child was and why he was refusing to bring her home and refusing to take her to medical appointments or to her babysitter during the week, he did not respond to any. The Orange Police were able to get in touch with him. He told the Orange Police that he has been living in Newington since December of 2021, and he admitted to lying to the court and lying to me about his address. I have tried to have him served before by a marshal and was also unable to, due to the fact that due to the fact that he refuses to disclose his address. I believe he should have to disclose his address so both the court as well as child support can be aware of it. Also, I want to know where my child will be residing while under his custody to make sure that the conditions are suitable for a 2-year-old little girl. I cannot have any police department do a welfare check because nobody knows the address of where he is living with the child. He told Orange Police that he would not be willing to take my child home on March 15th, 2022. The Orange Police advised me to file an emergency ex parte order. The case number for Orange Police from the incident on March 15th, 2022 in their discussion with him is 22-9388. I'm asking that my child be returned home to me immediately at my home at this address, and that the court order her father to stop withholding the child from me and refusing my ordered right of first refusal. She has not been able to go to the doctor because he's refusing to take her or take her home. I want my child back. This is not fair to her. I miss my child, and he has not allowed me to see her at all or talk to her. This is causing great psychological damage to my daughter, who desperately needs me, her mother. I'm also asking that the court order Matthew to disclose his address, so for safety reasons I know where my child will reside while in his care. I feel that she may be in danger, and I have no way to confirm otherwise. Matthew has blocked me and refuses to return any emails as well. So that was what I filed on March 17th, 2022. And as the primary resident and the custodial parent, he was refusing to give her back to me. He wasn't telling me where he was, his address, and as far as I'm concerned, she was completely missing. The fact that the police refused to do anything and told me that if I wanted to get her back, I would have to go back to court, and said my only option was to file for an ex parte, and they kept telling me it was a civil matter. And even though he told them that he wasn't going to tell me where he was, they still didn't care, even though he was keeping her past her time. A couple weeks later, on March 31st, 2022, this girl from Marlborough, Connecticut, named Elizabeth Protzman, who also goes by Libby Protzman, she is a delusional, mentally ill woman from Marlborough, Connecticut, who I tried at one point to be friends with. And after she was blocking and unblocking my ex and meddling in our issues with the custody case and causing problems, she then went and filed a restraining order application against me on March 31st, 2022 in the Hartford Superior Court. The application is filled with perjury, fraud, and lies. At the same time that she did this, she then called DCF and made a false report and told them that, claiming that I abused my kids. they investigated and they said that all of the allegations that she made were false and unfounded. Here's a copy of the application that she filed. She says that she needs a restraining order because I met the respondent about a year ago over social media. We became friends and met for the first time in January of 2022. We became close and I offered to become a backup babysitter for her and offered to help her pick her daughter up from the ex. On March 20th, 2022, she started copying me on emails between her and her ex. Because she was having difficulties picking her daughter up, I offered to help her. On March 28th, 2020, she forwarded me an email from her ex and then asked me to contact the ex's mother, Karen Bowers, to see if the daughter was there for me to pick up. She also gave me the ex's phone number because he lives with his mother. I messaged Karen to let her know I was going to pick the daughter up. Karen responded by telling me not to contact her again because they have had problems with the respondent in the past, and she was extremely upset that I was contacting her. I immediately apologized to Karen. After this, the ex contacted me from an unknown number, and I spoke to him over the phone. He wanted to confirm with the respondent that I was in fact asked to pick the daughter up. Once I explained this to the respondent, she immediately became concerned that something was going on between me and the ex. Her anger was escalating at this point, and she was even arguing with her own mother. She was forwarding me these conversations with her mother via text. She was threatening to physically assault her mother at this point. I was trying to be supportive of the respondent at this point by reassuring her that I was there to support her. The ex contacted me again via text. I sent the text to the respondent, at which point she started accusing me of hiding messages and contacting him behind her back and trying to sleep with him. At this point, the respondent sent an email to both me and the ex divulging personal sexual information that made me feel uncomfortable and I did not need to know. I then asked the respondent to not contact me any further and indicated that I would seek legal action if she did not stop harassing me. I also sent her a text message explaining the situation and how it was not my intent to do anything other than support her and her daughter. I then blocked her from everything. The respondent also had me on the phone while she called the ex because she wanted me to talk to him, but both times she hung up on us because she did not like what he was saying. Within minutes of me blocking her, I get a call from my estranged husband saying the respondent was contacting him via Facebook. She was convinced that I was somehow trying to become involved with her ex and was telling my estranged husband these things. She then told my estranged husband that I was recently raped and that I did not report it because I was afraid of being slut-shamed and dealing with acute PTSD as a result of the assault. She continued to message my estranged husband about potential romantic interests that I had disclosed to her, including naming 2 people by name, one of which is the person who raped me. She sent pictures to my estranged husband of myself and potential romantic interests in an attempt to harass me. She also mocked me for talking about my trauma from being raped. She called me abusive names, which increased the acute PTSD that I was dealing with. For a woman that I tried to befriend to contact her ex and my estranged husband to share with them intimate information regarding my assault and the trauma that I've experienced is very devastating. It has had an extreme mental impact on me. I also fear for my safety because she contacted another man who I shared with her that I had feelings for in an attempt to harass me even further. I called the police at this point, who suggested I file for a protection order. I sent one final warning email to her and her ex not to contact me or anyone that I know. Within minutes, she forwarded this email to my estranged husband and continued to make comments that were harassing and suggested that I was harassing her, despite my only attempts at contacting her were to get her to stop contacting me. At this point in time, I get a message from her ex saying the respondent wishes death on both her own mother and the ex's mother. She has been physically abusive to the child, and the ex told me she harasses everyone who does not agree with her by calling them their families, their spouses, and jobs. As a mandated reporter, I did report this to DCF. Because she has already engaged in involving my estranged husband and other potential partners, as well as disclosing confidential information about my sexual assault that could potentially interfere with the investigation, I'm extremely concerned for my physical safety. She's been physically assaultive in the past with her own family members. She knows where I live, and after asking her to stop contacting me 3 times, she has not. Not only did she not stop contacting me as I had asked her, her anger is intensifying, and I'm concerned that without